Most doll collectors in the United States are familiar with the legal battle between MGA's Bratz and Mattel's Barbie, and this came out in Bratz's favor. Now, did you know there was another legal battle in Brazil because of these dolls right here, which on the surface, they look like Bratz dolls. They are made by the biggest toy company in Brazil, Estrela. Estrela is renowned for their doll making. And these dolls were announced on August 29th, 2002, and on August 30th, 2002, all the inventory was seized by the Brazilian government. So let's talk about that, and let's talk about how neat these dolls are and what an interesting part of history they are with fashion dolls and Bratz. But first, I want to watch the commercial for these dolls because I think that adds to the overall picture of kind of what these dolls were going for.
Super transada, diferente, descolada. Driks. Troca a bolsa e o casaco, troca a blusa e a mochila. É demais essa menina, combina. Driks. Ela é uma estrela. As meias Driks são da Estrela, o melhor da brincadeira.
Wasn't that fun? I always love watching retro, and believe it or not, 2002 is retro doll commercials. So let's examine the Driks a little more closely. So there were 4 of them. I have 2 of them here. I have Kira and Isa here, but there was also Duda and Rebecca. Now I'm going to turn this over so you guys can see the back here. These were the 4 dolls that were available. So how are these dolls here at my house if the government seized all of the stock? So what the government did is they seized the stock from Estrela, but all of the dolls that had been shipped out to retailers were allowed to be sold. They did not pull them from the shelves, they only seized the stock. So they're not the most common doll on earth, but they are out there and they are available. But these dolls are very clearly a Bratz-like wannabe. And they were made in collaboration with a TV personality and model named Adrienne Galisteo, and I hope I said that right. I think I probably didn't. But she still is famous. She has a YouTube channel. She's a personality there. So she kind of like promoted these dolls, and when they asked her about the legal troubles, she had no comment and basically said, ask Estrela about it because they're the ones that created the dolls. But I want to show you guys kind of the similarities that they have to Bratz. I think it's so interesting that we have a fake Bratz from such a big company because Estrela does and did at the time, they still do today, actually get the legitimate legal license for a lot of different dolls, which you may have seen here on my channel. So I'm going to remove one of them from the box. So they are just in, now I have them out of these boxes because as you can see, the windows are very yellowed, they're very beat up, and one of the things about them is the boxes actually have an opening. So these were not stored in like a perfect condition. So the inside of the boxes were a little bit dirty, but I pulled them out, cleaned them up. I'm going to remove this doll from the box, and this is Kira, just so we can take a look at the differences between this doll and the Bratz. So here is Kika removed from her packaging, and you can see just standing next to Bratz, this is Chloe, she is much bigger, so she's a lot taller than Chloe, but the faces are very similar, the proportions are very similar, the feet are very similar. I'm going to show you what the foot mechanism looks like on these dolls. So if I pull the jeans up, and look, she's got some cute little leg warmers on. It is the same sort of thing. You've got a peg, but this is a much longer peg. Now, something that I think is very interesting about this peg and this shoe that you see here is on the actual product box, they show a peg with the shoe. So this was I guess a sample doll that they probably really made right after the Bratz, because if you look at a Bratz shoe, and my Bratz dolls are in poor condition, they do have the peg. So you can see there's the peg on the Bratz foot, and you just have I say peg, but you see what I'm talking about. One has like a little knob and this is just a straight peg. Now, are the shoes interchangeable? I don't know. Let's find out because this is the first time I've had her out of the box. So this only goes this far on the peg. So you wouldn't be able to use that shoe on her. Let's try this one on the Bratz doll. And it looks like, yes, you actually could use this shoe on the Bratz doll, which is very interesting to me. I don't know if the boots would work either, but I would assume so because they're very, they have the same sort of hole in them, and we'll take a look at that in just a moment. So this is, I think it's very interesting, like how similar these dolls are. To me, they're a clear fake, a clear knockoff of the Bratz dolls. But people try to capitalize and clone and do things like that with other dolls. The face sculpts are, of course, completely different. So they didn't necessarily take the face sculpt and, you know, copy the doll exactly, but it's a very similar concept here. And so they have the removable shoes. The outfits are very similar in the way they're designed, kind of with the crop tops and a lot of glitter and a lot of things like that. And the makeup is also very bold. If you look at the makeup, how bold it is, you've got bright colors and you've got these big faces, which are the canvas for the makeup. I just think it is so fascinating that these dolls were ever created. And also very fascinating that they seized all of those dolls. I have no idea what happened to the dolls that they seized. I think that's, again, so fascinating, very interesting to me. But the cool thing about the Driks is they kind of do stand on their own, which is nice. And then I'm going to show you on the other one, on Isa, that I have something interesting about her, and this is just a manufacturing thing. So if you take a look at her on her extra pair of shoes, so she's wearing her boots here. Her extra pair of shoes, the flesh colored painting is bubbling up and coming off. And we've all had toys or seen toys that came from somewhere that were not manufactured well. And so I think it's interesting that that's happened there. Is that something they would have fixed in subsequent runs? Probably so. But there would have only been one production run of these dolls because after they were seized the very next day, you know, slapped with that legal order. I think it's amazing that that you can even get any today. Now I want to show you the boot. So here's how the boot is. It's the same situation in a peg, and you've got, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can see you've got the wide open channel, I guess, the wide open boot top, and then the peg in the bottom. So I'm just gonna, for funsies, see if we can put this one on Chloe as well. I think it should fit just the same, but to me, the fact that they made them, I don't know that they made them interchangeable on purpose. Yeah, look at that. But I mean, they are pretty much interchangeable as far as shoes go. So again, you know, just an interesting piece of dolly history, another interesting like clone, copy, fake of Bratz, but this time from another major doll company, not Mattel here in the States, but Estrela in Brazil. And like I said, the Bratz were already being distributed by a company called Gulliver. So they immediately, when these were announced, you know, went and about their legal proceedings to have them stop from being distributed. So anyway, just a really cool story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think they're very fascinating and just a neat part of history. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this little bit of dolly history and dolly legal battle. And if you have any questions, let me know in a comment below. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, we will see you in the next one. Bye bye. I want to say a huge thank you to my patrons from Patreon: Lindsay S., Leah W., Doreen Z., Janice H., Mercedes W., Cindy K., Bear Sunflower, Diane B., Kelly L., Shorna R., Stephanie W., Shalane C., Penny P., Louisa's Knickknacks, Marty G., Lynn P., and Cindy L. Your support means so much to me and helps me continue bringing you great dolly content. For more information on how you can become a supporter of this channel, check the link in the video description. Thank you.